There we go, I'm live. All right, y'all. All right, I am live, everybody. So, if you are watching this from the beginning, hello and welcome. I am Jason, the AloofBaloo, and I'm here to play some Alan Wake 2. I am starting over from scratch on a brand new machine that I just built after things kind of went wrong and I had some issues with my laptop and I couldn't get streaming working. I had some gameplay issues and I finally got around to fixing up an old tower I had with a couple of new parts to make it nice and shiny and gameable, and here we are. So we're going to start off at the beginning. There should be stats in the description for any other gamers who watch this and want to know what we're running on here. This is a desktop 4060 Ti 16 gig on a Ryzen 7 5800X. And I'm not good at combat or resource management, so we're gonna play story level mode because I have tried this game on normal and it ain't happening.
Back to the beginning. We all come to a story with hopes and expectations, looking for an answer. Sometimes it would be better to live with that hope without ever knowing the full story. In a horror story, there are only victims and monsters. And the trick is not to end up as either. But trapped by the genre, we are all ripped to pieces along the way. This is not the story I hoped it would be. This is not the ending I wanted. This story will eat us alive. This story is a monster. And monsters wear many faces.
here. Ooh. I already forgot about those damn things. Sorry, folks. Okay, never mind. I've got my stream going on the side here, and I just didn't know if my mic was coming through, but it is. Yeah, that, I actually got already. Ooh. Shit.
Hey, kiddo. How are you?
I'm good, Mom. How are you?
This trip might take a little longer than I thought. I'm sorry I've been gone so much lately, Logan.
Oh my god, Mom, it's not your fault. People get all murdery. What happened?
Just work stuff.
Right. Well, Dad and I are just watching the latest episode of Night Springs here. Mom, it's so good.
No spoilers! I'll let you get back to the show. You were supposed to wait and watch with me. I love you both.
This is what happens when you go on work trips, Mom. Love you too. And say hi to Casey. Tell him to stop brooding so much.
Logan? I will. Bye, kiddo. Logan thinks you should try cheering up.
Snarky kid. Wonder where she gets that from.
It can't be a coincidence that another body turns up just as we arrive in town. Feels like the killer's leaving us a message.
I'm glad you're on this case with me, Anderson. It's right up your alley. You should take lead. Think of me as backup.
Okay. Any words of advice?
Nothing to cheer anyone up. Here we are, Cauldron Lake.
Time to get to work. A deputy was supposed to be here to show us to the crime scene. There's the car, so where's the deputy?
Eaten by a bear? I'll check out that map.
Cauldron Lake map.
I think I hear someone. Could be our deputy.
I can go take a look.
There's our map. We'll look more at it later.
Hey, over here. Hey there. Agent Casey, right? Sheriff Breaker said you'd be coming by to take over the case.
You're half right. Anderson,
Saga Anderson. I'll be leading this case. Seems you already know my partner, Alex Casey.
Sorry about that, ma'am. I'm Deputy Mulligan. I just figured that, Federal agents right here, Thornton. My partner, Thornton, down at the crime scene. He's not what you call the sharpest axe in the shed.
What can you tell us about the crime scene?
Let's get into that, Thornton. Well, we reckon there are some organs that are currently outside the victim's person when they should be, well, inside.
Were there any witnesses?
Yeah, a couple out-of-towners. I wonder what they were doing sneaking around the woods at night. Not that we have anything against city folk, right, Thornton? But don't worry. Sheriff Breaker took them back to town a while ago.
I want to see the body. How do we get there?
Oh, sure, that's real simple. Just through the hole in the fence, down the hill towards the lake, around the old convenience store. You can't miss it. Everything's been closed since the area was fenced off. The store, the campground, all of it. They got it for me.
Classic bumbling cop characters.
Before we get to the crime scene, there's time to review the facts of the case so far. Make sure I'm seeing the clues clearly.
To the mine place.
The Mind Place. My version of the Mind Palace technique. To sift through clues and work the case. Building the Mind Place again for each case. Using each field office as a model in my head. The facts are on the board. Everything we know about the previous murders. Worth taking another look.
This is our mental technique. And what we know so far, victims reported missing in 2010, and some slight differences in the murders. Bloating only commonality in bodies, but not cause of death. Chest trauma, exposure to water. Post-mortem? Question mark? Who knows?
I see you're already hard at work, Anderson. Close to cracking it?
We're just getting started. Let's head down the hill to the crime scene.
Walking in nature. Sky.
Reminds me of Crater Lake. But with a lot more trees.
Hey, Casey. You putting me in charge. Why now?
Look, Anderson, you're a better detective than I am. You've cracked cases that have the rest of us baffled. I don't want to slow you down.
Are you thinking of retiring? You know what happens to cops who say this is their last case.
Mm-hmm. Real funny, Anderson.
Stairs are out. You okay to jump down?
I'm not that old. Oh.
Mirror Peak. The mighty mountain in the distance is no other than Mirror Peak, the iconic landmark overlooking Cauldron Lake. From the right angle, its beauty will be reflected on the calm surface of the lake, mirrored in all its inverted glory. A lot of walking in this game, at least to start
Not a
off
bad
with.
place to get murdered.
If getting back to nature is your thing.
Damn. Should have brought an umbrella.
I like the rain. The only thing around here that feels like home.
You think the local law had the sense to put up a tarp?
If they did, next coffee's on me.
And bumbling idiot number 2.
Deputy Thornton, I take it.
That's me, at your service, ready to get this case solved. Now the body's behind the store. Come on, I'll show you. So, FBI, huh? That's so cool. Hunting down psycho serial killers and shootouts with the mob.
You forgot the UFO cover-ups.
What? Those are real? You guys hiring?
Let's just see this body, shall we?
Now this is the scene of the crime. We found him on the table. Now he didn't touch nothing, you know, procedures and stuff.
Thanks, Deputy.
No tarp. You owe me a coffee.
Okay. Let's start by examining our guest of honor. Does this fit the MO of the previous murders? Body is positioned on the table. Ritualistic. Another body
Another body has been found in the woods near Bright Falls. Perfect timing. You need to see if this is linked to the killings we're here to investigate.
Incised stab wound. Chest cut open. Heart removed. The killer left the heart right next to the body. Bruising on the wrist from the cargo straps holding him down. Heart removed from chest, strapped by the wrists. Definitely matches the previous murders. But this time the heart and the straps were left behind. More clues to work with. This makes 4 murders that we know about.
Clues have resolved the open question and unlocked deduction. As we advance the investigation, new questions will be unlocked, updating your goals. You can check the updated goals by pressing the corresponding button. Now let's collect some more clues. Not waste time in
Who is
this
that
my
victim?
place.
Who killed him? Need to find more clues. Any idea who the victim is?
Oh, I sure do. His name is Nightingale. He was FBI. He came to town about 13 years ago. I haven't heard a word about him since. Until now.
Nightingale. Robert Nightingale?
Oh, yes. You probably knew him. Brothers in arms. Oh, and sisters.
So you knew our victim.
Well, I didn't recognize him in his current state. But yeah, I ran into him a few times in Quantico. Never worked any cases together. After his partner got killed in the field, he went off the deep end. Got the boot pretty quick after that.
So he's been missing since 2010.
Nightingale went missing 13 years ago. 2010.
Same as all the other victims.
Certainly fits the pattern. Makes me wonder what was going on that year.
Probably something this town wants to forget.
So what happened to Nightingale after the Bureau let him go?
I only know the rumors. Depression led to booze, booze led to paranoia. He had some wild ideas in his head. Chased ghosts until he fell off the map. Guess he ended up here,
I bet there's more to that story.
but no happy ending.
Multiple people were here. Multiple killers. Large amount of blood on the table. The victim died here.
Caught in the act or sloppy work? Well, we know. We kind of saw what happened.
Footprints indicating multiple killers. Quite the party. Robert Nightingale, ex-FBI, came to Bright Falls 13 years ago. Did they plan for the murder to happen here? Someone left in a hurry. Knocked the tripod over. Was it for a camera? Someone was drinking beer. They spent time here, waiting. I think that's everything. For now. Need to think about it.
There's some dialogue just about.
The Mile High Strangler case. Proud of that one.
That's a good Denver reference.
They planned for the murder to happen here, passing the time with equipment ready. They were waiting for him. But why Nightingale? He's been missing for 13 years. Why here? Why now? Profiling. Get into the subject's head. See what they saw. Feel what they felt. Use whatever I know about them to guide my intuition to a revelation. Piece them together.
Let's get into his head, shall we? Sokka can discover new clues by profiling people of interest. Huh? Ooh, I have chats. Justice, there you are. Yes, we're starting over from the beginning. Sorry I didn't see your chat till now. I got a new system if you missed the beginning, and some things didn't work on the old system, and it's just easier to start over on a new computer, so that's what we're doing.
Agent Nightingale has been MIA for 13 years. How did he end up here?
Not from the lake that's not a lake. It's dark. He was there too. You are not allowed the lake until he says otherwise.
Robert Nightingale came from the lake before his murder. Agent Nightingale has been MIA for 13 years. How did he end up here?
Not from the lake that's not a lake. It's dark. He was there too. You are not allowed the lake until he says otherwise.
Robert Nightingale came from the lake before his murder. Nightingale was chosen as the victim. Why?
Click the switch. It goes click. Lights are off. But somebody's home. Somebody's home.
This wasn't some random act of violence. This was a ritual. A Nightingale component. They didn't see him as a person. More like a container for something.
Good question. After 13 years, where has he been?
The lake is connected to Nightingale somehow. Casey, let's take a look down by the lake. Lead the way.
Sounds good. But this way, right?
Right.
Okay, well, I'll just wait here.
This one of your hunches, Anderson? Did something happen at the lake?
I think Nightingale came up from that direction. From a lake. Probably looking for shelter. Safety. They were waiting for him.
When you're ready, I'd love to hear what you put together so far.
Sure. It's not that complicated. Nightingale was out in the woods alone at night. Possibly noon. The killers knew he was here. Ambushed him. Dragged him to the campgrounds. Strapped him to the table. Cut his heart out. But then they were interrupted by those witnesses' bookers. The job is unfinished.
That seems pretty complicated to me. What was this guy doing skinny dipping at this time of year?
Haven't figured that part out yet.
Mm-hmm. Lots of questions.
Lots of answers for us to find.
I didn't know trees got that big. Gives me the creeps.
You need to get out more. It is kind of creepy, though. Tracks. Barefoot. Nightingales? They come out from under the boulder.
Makes no sense.
There's a piece of paper on the ground. A page full of text on one side. Not a printout. Written with a typewriter. Old school. Lines scratched out and edits added with a pen.
Mm-hmm. Like a manuscript. Page of a story. Killer left a message.
It's for us. The text is about us. The victim was one of their own. FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale. And then there was the page they found. The first step down into terrifying depths.
Reading
the words.
These words felt like a message. Someone knew they were here. Someone playing a game with them. An invitation. How could they not accept,
Even if they knew it would end up hurting them. Someone's been watching us.
Playing a sick game with us.
You were right. This is right up my alley. Nightingale came this way. Either he dropped this page, or the killers left it for us. I should profile Nightingale about this page.
So we can listen to the narration from Alan here.
The victim was one of their own. FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale, gone missing here 13 years ago. Now he had suddenly turned up, only to be murdered in a brutal ritual on the very day of their arrival. And then there was the page. This page, the first page that they had found, not the last. The first step down into terrifying depths. Secret truths trembling beyond the threshold. Reading the words, these words, felt like a message. Was a message. Someone knew they were here. What they were doing. Someone playing a game with them. Leading them on. An invitation. How could they not accept? The sheer audacity of this impossible mystery presented to them. Even if they knew it would end up hurting them.
So let's see what Nightingale has to say.
Page in the woods. A story about these events. What is Nightingale's role in this?
I carry his words close to my chest now. Inside, the awful truth. Must get out.
Something was put inside him. In his chest. I must find out what.
Something is in his chest. Let's find out.
I think he came from the lake. But his tracks make no sense. find inside. Casey, I think something's been put inside Nightingale's body. Let's tell the deputies to get the body to the town morgue.
Okay.
I sometimes forget that you really have to push
Did you
through.
know this entire area is inside a caldera? This whole mountain used to be an active volcano.
In order to
Imagine the force it took to carve this crater out of the earth.
advance the story.
Caldera is a pretty rare, so be sure to take it in.
So, essentially, we're standing in the gaping maw of hell.
You got it. I used to love geology when I was in school. I helped Logan build a great baking soda volcano for her science fair.
Cheating on a science fair? That's almost a crime, Anderson.
I'm not gonna say no to quality time with a volcano. I mean, my daughter.
Hey, you made it back. Good. I hope you didn't get stuck in any of those big puddles. Crazy flooding down there, huh? Just like I said.
Deputy, I want the body taken back to town for a proper examination ASAP.
Well, sure. But the coroner won't be back in town for another week after Deer Fest.
Not a problem. I'll do it myself.
Oh, and Sheriff Braker called to say he's got the bookers at the Oh Dear Diner in town. Oh, and I've got a key to the gate. It's a shortcut back to the parking lot just up the hill.
Thanks. Let's get the car, drive to Bright Falls, and talk to these witnesses, the bookers.
At the diner, right? I could use a cup of coffee.
Let's try that shortcut the deputy mentioned.
Sounds good.
I think this is the fastest I've gotten through that section, and the part that I've played the most. Justice knows this part because I have shown it to him once, and I played it once on my very first
Burgess aside.
attempt to start a playthrough on my laptop.
Cute lodge we got set up in. We should go for a hike if we get a chance.
Now you're just being mean, Anderson.
Deputies aren't exactly up to the task, but hopefully the sheriff will be more helpful.
Not a surprise about the deputies. Doubt they've seen much stuff this gruesome.
I'm gonna go check something out. Be right back.
Got it.
Property of the FBC.
Is that a kid's lunchbox? An Alex Casey movie lunchbox. Casey
We're all in
hates
this
the
together,
image jokes
Hero.
about coincidentally having the same name as a fake detective. He hates those cheesy crime books, but he really hates the movies.
Weapon upgrades now. Nowhere near enough pieces to start upgrading yet. But we'll be back here after we find more lunchboxes. For those of you who don't know what the FBC is, you need to go and play a little game called Control. Which I haven't played yet, and I'm going to do a playthrough on that later. A little out of order since it is setting up some events ahead of this game,
Can't think of
and
clues all together yet. Heart removed, tripod, tracks leading to a dead end.
A tripod for a camera? To record a snuff film?
Maybe. And why take out his heart just to throw it away?
To stuff in something for us to find.
And there's a little crossover between a handful of characters in that game and this one.
Here we are. Let's drive back to town and meet the sheriff at the diner.
Standard rule of video games. Just about every maze that you wander through has to have a shortcut
I
back
can't
to
get
the
that
start.
manuscript page out of my head. I've never seen killers reach out so directly before.
Damn impressive work so far. With your technique, these punches were moving fast.
I wasn't sure about taking a case so far from home, but I'm thrilled to be here for this mystery. Need to swing by the lodge to get anything from the field office?
No, I'm all set.
I'll park there anyway. I want to walk to the diner, get a feel for the town.
And it's...
The diner's just up the waterfront. Shouldn't keep the sheriff and our witnesses waiting.
I smell coffee.
Hello.
What kind of coffee have you had today? Sorry. Don't know, don't care. How much did you have? Not enough. That's how much. Never enough coffee. Oh, rich, bittersweet nectar. Get it in coffee world. Get it where you can. Get it now. Jesus, Charlie. Man, it is swinging sweet, isn't it? Charlene, are you as comfortable as I am?
You don't think the amount of hot caffeinated beverages you down has anything to do with it?
I don't know what you're talking about. Hell. Swamp Ass City.
Swamp Ass City.
Can you just help us, please?
Oh dear. Cute.
Good to see ya. Let me guess. The FBI. Welcome to Bright Falls.
Let's grab a map while we're here.
I got supposed to coffee. Oh, it's Washington's finest.
Nice to meet you, Sheriff. I'm set for coffee.
You know, I wouldn't say no to another.
I'm Agent Saga Anderson. This is Agent Alex Casey.
Tim Breaker. And let me just say, I'm happy you two are here. Frankly, we could use the help.
Your deputies said you had a couple of witnesses here.
They made them sound like suspects.
Mulligan and Thornton are still on about that? No, the Bookers don't strike me as the murdering type, but you can decide for yourselves. They're just inside having coffee and pie to calm their nerves.
I'll see what they have to say. Casey, you compare notes with the sheriff.
Take your time. We've looked through the case files you sent over, Sheriff.
We'll hear what they have to say
How many
first.
people besides the known victims go missing?
Sure. But it's slowed down ever since Cauldron Lake was fenced off.
I'm gonna guess. Missing person cases spiked around 2010. The fence was built just after.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Excuse me. I'm Agent Saga Anderson. Are you the Bookers?
That's us. I'm Tammy, and he's Ed.
Hello, officer.
Just Saga is fine, Ed.
So, are we being charged with anything? Because if not, we'd love to get back to our hotel and decompress after what we saw. Take a bath, scrimmage pillows, that kind of thing.
We're not charging you. I just have a few questions. Nothing to stress about, okay? What were you doing at Cauldron Lake last night?
I'm a writer. True crime. We're here from New York, doing some research on a famous novelist, Alan Wake, who went missing here. I was down at the lake, getting some details. Perfectly legal.
So what did you see in the woods?
This naked dude came out of the lake and he was acting crazy, shouting weird shit at us. He must have been on something.
Unless skinny dipping at dawn is a thing around here.
Then we heard shooting. We ran into these psychos in deer masks. They were tearing into the naked guy with knives, like some kind of satanic cult. Then we bolted and called the cops.
What makes you say it was a cult?
The masks and knives aren't enough.
They were shouting, "Cult of the tree, the cult of the tree, cult of the tree." Oh, and we found her. The whole thing was terrifying. That's all.
I think we need to profile these people. This is the one time that profiling is good.
The cult of the tree. What are the Bookers telling me?
I found their necklace. The symbol is 2 triangles.
The cult wants their spruce tree back, Tammy.
Finders keepers, Ed. My publisher will want this on the cover.
Tammy found something. A necklace belonging to one of the cultists. The Bookers were at Cauldron Lake. Why?
This was built to hide what's there. They say the writer fell in the lake.
Private party. No trespassing.
My book has questions. Past the bolt cutters.
They broke in for the sake of Tammy's book. Nothing to do with a murder. They were telling the truth. So you found something there, right? A necklace these cultists may have dropped.
Okay. Wow. How did you put that together?
It's evidence. You need to hand it over.
Told you not to keep that from me.
Thanks. This could prove to be helpful. Do me a favor. Stick around town for now in case we have any more questions.
Like we even dream of this.
Oh, God. Saga! Saga Anderson. As I live and breathe. I thought we'd never see you back here after that awful, awful thing happened to your baby girl.
Good old Rose.
How are you? I'm sorry. Who are you? I don't know what you're talking about. It's me, silly. Rose. You know me. I don't think I do. And what horrible thing happened to my baby girl? She drowned. Your daughter. That's so weird you don't remember. How do you know I have a daughter? Oh, I know what this is. You're blocking out your traumatic memories. Happens on TV all the time. No. You're mistaking me for someone else. If you say so.
Good to see you.
have a look around before we leave. Always
Hey there, Mr. Deer.
pet the deer heads.
You remind me of a dream I had.
I'm not sure why yet, since I haven't finished the game, but I am told, so I do as I'm told, that you will pet all the deer heads for something. Maybe it's an achievement at the end of the game. I'm not sure. Not getting in
I need
here
a tool to get this open.
just yet. And that is literally just a restroom with nothing special in it. And the employee room is shut. While we're here, let's update some cases.
We're dealing with an organized group of killers, not a lone serial killer. The cult of the tree is behind these murders. This case just became much more complicated. I'll need to start a new file. But it's my first cold case. Exciting. I need to know more about the cult of the tree if I'm going to shut them down. That's it. Nah.
There we go. Sometimes they make it hard to tell which, exactly which card you need to pair up.
Finding a Casey movie lunchbox out here can't be a coincidence. Another message.
Alrighty.
So, Rose, help me out. How do you think we know each other?
We all know each other around here. It's been a while, but I never forget a face. Or a copy order.
Guess I just have one of those faces. Seen anything out of the ordinary in town lately? Suspicious people in deer masks?
No one's suspicious, but soon enough there'll be lots of happy people wearing deer masks for Deerfest. Practically everyone will be wearing one.
Good to know.
All set? My guys have Nightingale at the morgue if you're ready to go take a look.
Let's go.
Well, Casey, I got a lead. Looks like we're dealing with a cult. The cult of the tree.
A murder cult. Fuck.
Have you heard of this cult of the tree, Sheriff?
Only the urban legend. If you're in the woods at night, the call will get you. That sort of thing.
We're not gonna find out you're the Grand Wizard or something, are we?
Played some D&D back in the day. Wizard was always my favorite class.
Morning, Sheriff. Looks like you have some guests.
Ah, morning, Ted. Yeah, real important guests. Deerfest. Always draws a crowd, right?
Too true. More the merrier. Have a good one, Sheriff.
Hey, what do you know about that waitress from the diner?
Rose? Yeah, she's a bit of a space case. And always has been. Why? What'd she do now?
She kept saying that my daughter drowned. She even knew my name. It was all very weird.
Rose has a talent for saying the weirdest thing possible, but it's best not to take it personally.
Hey, boss. Corpse is downstairs ready to go.
Yep, in the morgue, all prepped.
I'd like to take a closer look as soon as possible. Lead the way, Sheriff.
Oh, this is the Bright Falls Sheriff Station. Anything you need, just let us know.
We appreciate the support, Sheriff.
See you around.
So we share a morgue with the funeral home next door. It's a shoestring budget. I guess you guys don't have that problem, though. Our only coroner rotates between a few other towns, and he's away this week, but you can handle this, right?
I'm qualified to perform examinations. Yes.
Something about morgues. They always cheer me up.
I can't say I feel the same.
He's joking. Okay. Let's take a look at our patient. I'll start with the external inspection before performing the internal examination. What was the cause of death? What other clues can the body give me? There's writing on here. Can't make it out.
Writing. How'd they manage that?
The body shows signs of being submerged in water post-mortem. It doesn't add up. This looks like text. A tattoo?
Nightingale didn't strike me as a tattoo guy.
Aha. They did leave something inside his chest.
Defensive wounds. He put up a fight.
Time to see what Nightingale's body can tell us. Chest wound is cause of death, but the corpse is bloated, waterlogged. Doesn't add up. There's definitely something in his chest. Did the killers leave it there?
Let's find out.
It's the same type of page we found at Cauldron Lake.
Nightingale hunted Saga. Didn't see her. The Taken could not see into bright light. Light hurt them, made them vulnerable. Nightingale had no heart, but here he was, killing.
Someone's created a fucked up fantasy about us.
Hey, hold on. We found these kinds of pages. I didn't think they were relevant to this case. I have them right here. No, wait.
Sheriff?
First combat.
didn't see her. Could not see into bright light.
I'll make you pay.
He's coming. No weapon. Paige said to get into the light. He can't see me in the light. My gun's out in the hall. Gotta get it back. Gotta move. Now. Vanished.
And that's chapter 1. Every chapter has a song, and they often relate to the story. Hey Google, change the office lights to warm white.
He didn't have a heart, but he still got up. The page predicted all of it. It helped me fight him.
He just disappeared. What the hell is going on here?
We need to figure that out if we're going to do anything about it. Somehow we need to make sense of this. There's no rational explanation to what we just saw.
I'd love to blame this on mass hallucination caused by inhaling volcanic gas, but we both know that's bullshit. This was supernatural.
Well, I'm glad you were the one to say it. Now we can figure out a way forward.
Saga was back at Cauldron Lake. Saga had to pursue Nightingale into the overlap. Finding a way in would be difficult. A ritual. Saga would learn how to stop the monster.
Right before things got crazy, Sheriff Breaker just vanished.
Maybe the sheriff knew more than he was letting on.
He seemed anxious, like he dreaded what was coming. One more mystery. The victim of a ritualistic murder turns into a monster. Is there a connection?
Looks to me like the cult of the tree is performing rituals to create monsters.
Maybe. We need to start with learning this cult's goal, their purpose. A dead man turned into a monster. Light as a way to fight him. Pages predicting the future. There's no rational explanation. This is the case we must solve.
The autopsy room was a mess, like a bomb had gone off. Nightingale hunted Saga. Didn't see her under the light, pushed past her. The Taken could not see into bright light. The light hurt them, hurt the darkness in them. It made them vulnerable. I flicked the switch, it goes click. Show me the clicker, lights are off, but somebody's home. Hemingway brought you here, witch. Get out of my house, Nightingale shouted. A wave of terror crashed through Saga's head. The awful truth. Nightingale had no heart in his chest, but here he was, killing a monster. The world had lurched out of balance. You found yourself trapped on the far side of the mirror. Saga was back at Cauldron Lake. He was there too. Nightingale was, but wasn't a Taken, a creature of darkness. He was beyond her reach, where some other strange reality, the dark place, merged with ours. This place and the dark place, a tarp thrown over top, drowning everything beneath it, a flood of darkness, soaking into everything, spoiling it, rotting it. The page called this area an overlap. Saga had to pursue Nightingale into the overlap. Finding a way in would be difficult, required precise steps, a ritual. Saga would learn how. Stop the monster before he killed again. Her job would be inside, waiting for her.
That's where I'm missing it. It's down there at the bottom. There we go.
The page places Nightingale back at Cauldron Lake. Calls him a taken. We need to head over there, stop him, before anyone else gets hurt.
Okay.
Gunshots, y'all okay? Did you get spooked by the bodies?
Sheriff Brater disappeared. Nightingale turned into some sort of monster, and our office is down. You two handle things here. We need to get back to Cauldron Lake immediately.
Oh, me. That's terrible. We'll do what we can, man.
So much concern. I love their conversations. You just gotta sit and listen to them. Now, before we go to Cauldron Lake, let's have a look around our little police station.
Somebody called for a tour guide. Oh, wow. Coastal Brothers Adventure Tours. Unforgettable tour experiences at affordable prices. That's right. I'm your Coastal Brothers Adventure tour guide by Coastal Magazine. And I'm here to take you to tour of a lifetime. But Gilmo, I've heard the government has seized restricted access to local nature attractions. That is true, John. Many local attractions are been built by the government. That's why at Coastal Brothers Adventure Tours we say, but it's good government. We have full covered. Oh, you think of everything. And we'll take you anywhere. Hiking through the scenic Elderwood National Park. Fishing in the crystal clear waters of Rifles Dam. Bird watching at majestic Mirror Peak.
I had to make some changes to the camera to fix streaming.
Tour of a lifetime is just one phone call away. Book now to get a 9% discount on this limited edition Old Beer Diner Coffee Thermal.
The Coscola Brothers ads can be reviewed anytime in the Mind Place. But we're not going to rewatch it all right now. Also, the songs that we hear, we can come back to and re-listen to anytime. And if you notice, the little play button icon actually moves when you start a tape. And unmove, or it comes back when you stop it. I think that's a cool little detail. Nothing too fancy here. I do know, fun fact, these whiteboards are all actual whiteboards of things that were worked on throughout development of the game that were photographed or scanned somehow and added into the game as assets. That was something that Sam Lake, who plays the physical representation of Alex Casey and is also the lead developer and writer for the game, that is some details that he explained.
My client has been held here long enough. Are you gonna let me speak to them or not?
Just a moment now. Someone will be right with you. Just a moment now. Someone will be right with you.
It's an interesting effect on the screen. This must be a side effect of either the frame generation or ray tracing or something that makes the computer screens go so blurry when you scroll something for a minute. You gotta wait for the text to re-render.
It's not opening.
Alright, that's enough exploring the sheriff station for now. Let's get
Nightingale and his cult are dangerous. We need to be prepared in case things escalate more than they already have. Can you
on to
call it
Bright
TC?
Falls.
We need backup. The Great Falls case, wherever you can spare. ASAP. Think we'll actually find Nightingale at the lake?
The pages haven't been run yet.
We can't assume the person writing these pages isn't playing us.
I agree. But there's our best lead. Their setter won't roll over on munitions.
you back at the car.
Just about any time you want, in between cases, you can step out and look around. And we can listen to those radio shows back in the mine place. There's not a lot we can do out here just yet,
Can't open this with my bare hands.
because we don't have any way to get through these locks. But there's still quite a bit to look around, and now's the first time that we can actually start doing some of that. This not only is locked, it does not have a prompt to unlock, so it's permanently locked.
How are you?
Let's have a look at our little sign here. The building was constructed as part of one of the early settlements in the greater Bright Falls area. Built in 1898, the building has been both in private and public use through the years and has bravely stood the test of time. In 2015, it was carefully taken apart and relocated here in downtown Bright Falls, where it was rebuilt into its original glory log by log. The Elderwood Palace Lodge has reopened in Bright Falls in 2016 and has served its customers faithfully ever since.
So what's good here? Any nice restaurants? A bit of a foodie.
The restaurants and shops in town are closed at the moment, unfortunately. They'll have a grand reopening right after Deer Fest, though, so if you're sticking around till then.
Oh, I don't think I am. I've never Deer Fest if it is.
Oh.
Not a whole lot to see in and out here, but hey, does this look familiar? Maybe compared to our mine place? But here's the real one, or what she's modeling after in her mind. Let's see if we can pet the steer. Yes.
Rest easy, buddy.
Dancing with myself.
I can't force it open.
Alright, so not going in there yet. Huh. Arcade. machine, a random guitar. They totally should have had like huh. Now, is this Alex's room or mine?
It doesn't budge.
So that's the lodge for now. Let's move on with the story.
Did you check out the town, Anderson?
Just getting my bearings. Ready to go?
And here we go.
I need to come clean, Anderson. I know why Nightingale was here 13 years ago. He was chasing a writer, Alan Wake.
Tammy mentioned him. She's writing a book on his disappearance.
You know the detective character from his books, Alex Casey.
Yeah, I've heard the jokes at the office. Cold Casey.
Hey Google, change the office lights to red.
Same name, similar job. First thing anyone thinks of. It annoyed me, but that was it. Then, 10 years ago, I started getting strange letters in the mail. Fragments of prose describing murders. You've heard the stories about what happened in New York. Some of them, at least. Bodies start to pile up. It was a murder cult. Turns out fragments sent to me were from the crime books of Alan Wake. The cult was copycatting the murders from the books. In their heads, they were performing a ritual to bring Wake back. Their imagined prophet. After that case, I started looking into Wake's disappearance on the side.
And you thought this case might be connected to him? His name does keep popping up.
I just wanted you to have all the facts.
Next time, give them to me before we find ourselves in the middle of a horror story.
The page says Nightingale's in something called an overlap. Need to figure out exactly what that means. Thanks. Let's start looking for Nightingale where he was killed.
The writer of these pages knows what will happen. Because they're behind this, or because they can see what's coming. Impossible things are happening here. A world operating on different rules. I need to understand this strange logic. To see the clues. To solve the case.
I've been thinking more about the cult of the tree. What sort of cult refers to themselves as a cult?
My experience
We're not seeing the full picture yet.
No, we're not. Hello there.
Hello. Saga Anderson. Are you two supposed to be here?
I'm Ilmo Koskela. Fantastic to meet you. And yes, Stephen here hired me to show me through the woods. He's in town on important government business. Fixing this impressive piece of hardware.
I work for the NBC, ma'am. I'm authorized to be here.
And I bet you two are here about that murder. Nasty stuff. How's it going?
What is this thing?
It's just a monitoring station, ma'am. The Federal Bureau of Control checks volcanic activity and air toxicity levels. No need to worry, though. It's mostly for research purposes.
That's one gorgeous sweater saga. Looks Nordic. I bet a family member made it.
How did you hear about the murder, Ilmo? Do you know anything that could help us?
People tend to tell me things. The Koskela brothers are kind of a household name around here. Speaking of, if you're looking for some fun, stop by Watery. Just down the road from Bright Falls. There's our Coffee World Amusement Park. There's sauna Gishta. And we offer a variety of guided tours, hunting, fishing, hiking, whatever strikes your fancy. You name it, we've probably got it.
My mother made this sweater for me. How do you know?
I knew it. My mom used to knit those sweaters for me and my brother. Watery, my hometown, was founded by Finnish immigrants. So between your name and the sweater, I figured your family might be from too.
My mom's family is from Sweden originally. I don't know much about you beyond that. The sweater is not something to remember my life. Stephen, we're investigating the murder of nearby. What can you tell me about you?
Nothing that fast, I'm afraid. But I don't know anything about the murder. Operation is run by a different point. I'm just here to get some repairs. The wiring on this thing breaks every couple months.
Yep, that's the raccoons. They grow real big here with teeth like you wouldn't believe. Can't all run through garbage can.
Thank you. I need to head out.
But first, let's look in this open door.
Which photos? Nothing. Just something that shouldn't be here. My cool is my ass.
It's all pretty calm in here for now. Let's carry on.
Let's get to the murder side, Casey. A lot of things about this case keep bothering me. But one thing feels really off. Breaker's disappearance. I don't get the feeling Nightingale was responsible.
He was about to give you more of those pages. Something didn't want us to have them? Or was protecting him from Nightingale? Spontaneous combustion? I don't know what. Not the kind of disappearance we normally solve. Our crime seems drowning. I never minded rain. Feels like home.
No sign of Nightingale. But the page did place in the Cauldron Lake, in an overlap. So how do we follow him there?
Maybe something around here will
tell us.
We've seen this symbol before.
Good eye.
Bare feet. Nightingale. I'll see where these footprints lead. Can you comb through the crime scene one more time, KC? Just in case.
Alright. If anything comes up, I'll radio you.
Alrighty, let's get into the dark finally. We don't have to go into too much just yet. So I'm going to focus on the story.
Into the water. Where'd he go from here? I can feel something.
Hey.
Nightingale isn't far.
There is no mystery in Cauldron Lake being named after its cauldron shape, and yet there are many mysterious stories about the lake, it being a gloomy doorway to the underworld, or of a witch whose cauldron the lake really was. The legend tells that when the affections of a local sheriff went unanswered, he accused the lady in question of having bewitched him. She was drowned, but her dropped ladle grew into a strange tree named Witch's Ladle. The woman returned to avenge her wrongdoers. If she was not a witch before, she was one now. She killed the sheriff, drowning him in the lake. She then took out his heart and locked it in a box. With the heart, she would summon him from the lake to exact revenge on her behalf. Or so the legend goes. Really? Now? I think we're safe.
I know Nightingale is somewhere around Cauldron Lake.
Was that threshold? This place and the dark place. You're in over your head. Next stop, Alvera Street Station.
The threshold, like a doorway, leading to Nightingale. It's somehow connected to a tree, which is real.
it's reacting to the light. These aren't the same tracks that were here before. They're headed into the tree, not out of it. My flashlight burned the dark stuff away. It was covering another page.
The fuse was in place. Saga stepped into the witch's hut. Inside, a bright light. There were objects that stood out to Saga, as if the light had manifested them.
The witch's hut. Okay. I trust the pages to lead me to the overlap.
Let's get back to the hut. Maybe put a little hustle on it. This way.
This is the witch's hut.
Anderson, thought I saw something in the woods. Probably just a deer, but I'm gonna check it out.
Okay. I found another page. Following up on a lead. Keep checking in.
Roger.
The fuse box is missing a fuse. I need to find one to turn on the lights.
Well, we don't have to go far for our fuse. I do know that it's nearby.
This fuse is busted.
Friday, Midge told me that her family's moving away. This sucks. I haven't even told her that I like her yet. What's the point anymore? She said her parents want to get better jobs and to get her to a better school in a big city. I guess that's fair. Who wants to stay in Bright fucking Falls? Sunday, so I told her. She said thanks. Fucking kill me. Monday, I snuck out last night again. Went to the big house by the lake instead of just watching it from here like I always do. Instead of just sitting around like I always do. Screw that. Anyway, something weird is going on down there. I'm gonna find out what. I'm gonna go back there tomorrow with better gear. Bet I can find a way inside the building, take some photos. It's gonna be epic. Where are you now, buddy?
This one looks good. People should really stop littering, though.
Who litters fuses anyway?
A lunchbox again. Who's leaving these out here?
Things can get crazy around here, but if you're ever feeling scared, just remember that Alan is watching over us. Ooh. Is he though? And our first save room. That's right. We've been playing for almost 2 hours, and I've only just found the first save point. You do have to go a little ways to get to it.
Making progress.
The image of the witch in the sign. Saga addressed the witch. The smudged line on the heart. The second part recited from memory. I brought you the heart, witch. Show me the terror. Saga pushed the heart through the hole in the sign.
All right, let's knock through the unread messages. I didn't actually listen all the way through either of these two. So let's start.
The fuse was in place. She found it among the junk in the forest. Saga stepped inside the witch's hut. Something rushed through her. A presence. Familiar. She couldn't quite place it. Something long forgotten. She tried to hold on to it, but it was already gone. Inside, a bright light. Saga felt safe. Like nothing could hurt her here. There were objects that stood out to Saga as if the light had manifested them, pulled them from the darkness. A shift in reality, heavy with hidden meanings. A coffee thermos, a shoebox, a mop and a bucket, a poster on the wall, and in the cabinet, another manuscript page. Witch's ladle, towering over Saga, watching her and the witch. The image of the witch in the sign, Nightingale's heart, a cold, dead lump in her hand. Her definition of sanity had changed since she arrived in this town, but she trusted the pages.
Hey Google, set the lights in the office to green.
She squinted to read the first part of the ritual words, the smudged line on the heart. The second part recited from memory, the words she had read on the page. I brought you the heart, witch. Show me the terror. Saga pushed the heart through the hole in the sign. This was the key. The tree was the threshold.
And we're saved. Let's have a look around. There's not a whole lot out here. We already went up here and kind of explored that. Got that little Easter egg. Actually, I don't think there's much else over here. Definitely nothing on this side. Nope. Here lived the Witch of Cauldron Lake. Beware, her spirit may still haunt this place. Nobody's haunting our little hut. We've got light. I love that there's even little Danishes here. That's just hilarious. Oh, more items. What do we got? Ammo. Anything else in here am I missing? Nope, I think we got it all. Alrighty. That has been a good 90 minutes. And honestly, that's kind of going to wrap it up for today's session. We will continue later this week. If you hopped onto the stream from any of my socials, then thank you for joining me. And we'll be back on here again. Our current goal is Tuesday. When ride sharing is dead, I'm going to be gaming when I've got time. So probably Tuesday, when the next big lull in activity is expected to be here in Denver. So until then, thank you all for joining me. Justice, I hope you had fun catching up and seeing what you saw. We'll get to more of it at the next chance I get. So, hope you have enjoyed it, and we'll do more soon, I promise.